Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you a really awesome Necrotic Grip build that is pretty much my way of building a pseudo Poison subclass for the game until it's actually out, if ever. Come back to this video in a few years and let me know. But yeah, this build is going to be pretty insane. With the gameplay you just saw, you can already tell it's going to be insane because I am literally invincible, and that's pretty much the whole point in the build, is to have insane ad clear, decent DPS, and be completely unkillable, even hopefully in high-end content. In the content I've tested in so far, so dungeons and raids, and even early sections of the GM, you're pretty unkillable. There's no good season mods for rocket launchers and hand cannons, so I wouldn't actually use this in a GM. But just letting you know with what I've tested, you are pretty unkillable in there too. So, getting into the mods, we have Charge Harvester. This mod is actually kind of underused, but it is very strong with some of the other mods that I've paired with it. So basically what this does is when you're not charged, you have a small chance to become charged, only one charge, it is only ×1, from any kill or assist. Every time you get a kill and you don't get charged, the chance of being charged on the next kill increases, which is, I mean, it's great, right? Being on a Warlock, this will lower your recov. Please keep that in mind. Stat-wise, I've decided to go with recov and dis. Get to that in a second. Let's get through the mods first. So, I did mention that you only become charged once with this mod, which doesn't sound very good, and with the mods that I'm using, that isn't good. However, getting onto our second mod, we have stacks on stacks. Basically what this does is when you get charged again for every charge that you gain. So instead of getting 1 here, I would get 2, which is amazing. So that's already 2 charges done right off the bat. So you'll get kills with literally anything, and boom, your charge ×2. Awesome. Now, pairing in the invincibility side of things and something to actually use our charges on, we have Protective Light, which of course in the gameplay at the start you saw, even though I got to red, I would be basically unkillable just at that point alone. But obviously if they kept hitting me, I would die eventually. However, because of Devour, I would gain all my health back, and before they could bring me to the red, I would become recharged, and then I'd hit the red, Protective Light kicks in, Devour procs, I get saved, and then I become recharged, and the loop continues, making me unkillable. So yeah, that's why Protective Light is in here. It might seem like a bad mod on paper, because I have Devour. However, a lot of enemies do a lot of damage, and they will out-damage your Devour. So to stop them from doing that, I have Protective Light, to then give Devour a chance to fully heal me, since it is a little bit delayed. And then, yeah, there you go, that's it, I'm unkillable now. Now, for the weapon side of things, I have High Energy Fire in here. Since it is extremely easy to get charged, I figured I may as well take the opportunity to buff all of my weapons. Basically for bosses, for mages, and everything else in between. Obviously, getting a kill with Thorn, for example, will take a charge, and then getting more kills with Thorn will take charges, but it's so easy to get charges back, that's really not a problem. So this is basically like a nice way of just having permanent Well of Radiance up for my weapons, damage-wise, and yeah, that's why we have that there. Now for the final mod, this is completely optional. I've decided to run with this because I'm using Null Composure. Basically what this does is when I get a kill with a weapon that matches my subclass, has a chance of spawning an elemental well. It's not really useful. There was no other Charge of Light mods, regardless of element, that could actually help me without ruining my charges. So I just decided to go with an elemental well mod just to get my melee back faster, because I'm not spec'd into melee, and the melee isn't exactly useful that much. It's okay. You can see here it just procs Devour, right? So it can be used as a panic button. But yeah, for the most part, melee is not very useful, so I decided to just have a nice little way of getting it without speccing into it fully. So I've got melee kickstart and I've got elemental armaments there for melee. As for the rest of the mods, it's all just rocket launcher stuff because I'm not using particle deconstruction, so I didn't want to use a linear. I just went for a rocket launcher because the next best thing. So yeah, that's the build, that's the mods. Of course we have Thorn to proc Necrotic. Also, if you damage an enemy with Thorn's burn and then get a kill with something else, that will also proc Necrotic's burn. So another reason to have Null Composure here, aside from the elemental well, is I would tag an enemy with Thorn, kill them with Null Composure, they'll explode because of Reservoir Burst, and then spit poison everywhere at all the other enemies that may have somehow survived or are just nearby in general but not close enough to get hit by Reservoir Burst. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole purpose around this with these. So that's it. Devour, you're unkillable with Protective Light. You've got incredible ad clear potential with Necrotic Grip and Thorn, which is going to charge you and activate Protective Light and high energy fire again. I've got Ascendancy with Explosive Light, of course, to do high DPS without needing a crap ton of mods. And we're using high energy fire to also help that. Empowering Rift to help that. This is optional though, it doesn't really matter. And then we just have Null Composure here to help out with the ad clear and elemental armaments. So yep, that's the build. I'll have a bit more gameplay at the end here, just showing it off in a more general matter, not just me standing in a corner and being unkillable. I'll actually show you the ad clear side of things now. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Let me know what you think of the build, and adios.